unfolded mysteries. The wind howled through the dark streets of Hollowbrook on Halloween night. The town was known for its long history of eerie tales and unsettling legends, but none was more chilling than the story of Michael and his girlfriend, Eliza. Michael was a young man with a love for Halloween. He adored the spooky ambiance, the costumes, and the sense of escapism that the holiday provided. Every year, he and Eliza would prepare meticulously for the annual Halloween party, choosing their costumes and decorations with great enthusiasm. But this year was different. Eliza had passed away in a tragic accident just a few months before, leaving Michael shattered and alone. He was determined to honor her memory by attending the Halloween party they had always enjoyed together. As he donned his costume, an elaborate skeleton suite that he knew she would have loved, he couldn't help but feel her absence acutely. Eliza had always been the life of the party, the one who embraced the spooky spirit of Halloween with unbridled enthusiasm. The party was in full swing as Michael arrived at the large Gothic mansion where it was held. As he entered the dimly lit, cobweb-draped entrance, a sense of unease settled over him. The partygoers seemed to revel in the macabre, their laughter and costumes taking on an eerie, almost sinister quality. Michael mingled with the guests, but he couldn't shake the feeling that Eliza's spirit was with him, watching over his shoulder. As the night wore on, the revelry became more frenzied, and the mansion seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy. Michael retreated to a quieter part of the mansion, a dimly lit library lined with dusty old books. It was a place of relative solitude, away from the madness of the party. But as he gazed at the antique mirror that adorned one wall, he couldn't escape the feeling that Eliza was there, just out of sight. It was when he saw her reflection in the mirror that his heart skipped a beat. Eliza stood there, as vivid as ever, her eyes filled with sorrow. She was dressed in her favorite Halloween costume, a ghostly bride, the very one she had worn the last time they had celebrated Halloween together. "Michael," she whispered, her voice a faint echo from the beyond. "Why did you come here? You should have stayed away." He reached out to touch the mirror, to feel her presence once more, but his hand passed through the glass as if it were nothing more than an illusion. The room grew cold, and the lights flickered ominously. Eliza's form began to distort in the mirror, her image twisting and contorting into something monstrous. Her once loving eyes turned malevolent, and her ghostly gown became tattered and blood-stained. She began to wail, a mournful cry that pierced Michael's soul. Panicked, he stumbled back from the mirror, but Eliza's reflection remained, taunting him with its grotesque transformation. The library seemed to close in around him, the walls lined with portraits of long-dead ancestors who stared down at him with accusing eyes. As the night wore on, Michael's descent into madness continued. He saw Eliza's ghostly figure everywhere, in the flickering candles, in the haunting music, and in the leering faces of the partygoers. Her voice whispered in his ear, a tormenting lament that spoke of betrayal and sorrow. In his terror, Michael fled from the mansion, but the town itself seemed to conspire against him. The streets twisted and turned, leading him in endless circles, and the moon hung low in the sky, its pale light casting eerie shadows that danced around him. Desperate and disoriented, he stumbled into a forgotten cemetery at the edge of town. The gravestones loomed like silent sentinels, and the night was filled with the cries of distant, unseen creatures. Eliza's ghostly figure appeared once more, her spectral hand reaching out to him, beckoning him to join her in the eternal shadows. In his final moments, Michael fell to his knees, his sanity shattered and his spirit broken. He felt Eliza's cold, ghostly touch on his cheek as the world around him dissolved into darkness. The Halloween party, with all its macabre revelry and unsettling spirits, had claimed him as its own, a victim of the haunting power of the holiday. To this day, the legend of Michael and Eliza is told in hushed tones in Hollowbrook. It serves as a chilling reminder that on Halloween night, the boundary between the living and the dead can blur, and the spirits of lost loved ones may return to claim those who dare to cross into the realm of the supernatural. On the night of Halloween, a full moon hung low in the sky, casting an eerie glow over the town of Hollowsville. For months, the town had been buzzing with anticipation for the grand Halloween party at the Hollow Oak Mansion, an abandoned and decrepit estate known for its dark history. 4 couples, longtime friends, were particularly excited about this year's event. They had heard the legends surrounding the mansion, the tales of unexplained disappearances, mysterious noises, and eerie apparitions. But the allure of a Halloween party at the Hollow Oak Mansion was too enticing to resist. The couples arrived in style, dressed in elaborate costumes that ranged from vampires to classic horror movie characters. They parked their cars on the overgrown driveway, surrounded by dense woods, and made their way to the ominous entrance of the mansion. The moment they crossed the threshold, the air grew heavy with dread. The flickering candles lining the grand hallway cast elongated shadows that danced on the peeling wallpaper. A chill seeped into their bones as they explored the sprawling labyrinthine mansion, each room more unsettling than the last. As the evening unfolded, the couples mingled with other guests, their laughter and footsteps echoing through the dimly lit halls. The grand ballroom, adorned with tarnished chandeliers and moth-eaten drapes, was the centerpiece of the party. But as the hours ticked away, the atmosphere in the mansion grew increasingly unsettling. It was Claire, one of the partygoers, who first noticed it. A mournful wailing sound that seemed to emanate from the depths of the mansion. She turned to her husband, Mark, and whispered, "Do you hear that? It sounds like someone is crying." Mark listened carefully, and indeed the eerie sound of sobbing filled the air. The other couples had also caught wind of it, and they exchanged uneasy glances. Together, they decided to follow the source of the haunting cries, their curiosity piqued. The wails led them to a decaying library, its shelves lined with dusty, forgotten tomes. In the center of the room stood a grand, ornate mirror, its surface dark and foreboding. In front of the mirror, a spectral figure wept, her pale, translucent form clad in a blood-stained wedding gown. As the friends stared in terror, the ghostly bride turned toward them, her eyes filled with torment. She beckoned them closer, her voice a haunting whisper that spoke of love, betrayal, and unspeakable tragedy. The tale of her ill-fated wedding and the gruesome events that followed chilled the friends to the bone. The bride, it turned out, had been married to the mansion's owner, a cruel and twisted man. Her wedding night had ended in a gruesome murder at his hands, and her spirit had been trapped in the mansion ever since. The mansion itself was cursed, and the apparitions of its tormented residents haunted those who dared to enter. Story 2. The friends, gripped by fear and empathy, vowed to help the tormented bride find peace. She begged them to retrieve her wedding ring, which her husband had hidden away as a cruel reminder of their unholy union. The couples embarked on a nightmarish journey through the mansion's maze of shadowy corridors, encountering vengeful spirits and witnessing horrific scenes from the mansion's dark history. It was a harrowing ordeal that tested their courage and strained their relationships. Eventually, they found the hidden chamber where the wedding ring was kept. But as they reached for the ring, the malevolent presence of the mansion intensified. The friends were trapped, their escape blocked by an unseen force. The apparitions closed in, their ghostly forms twisting and writhing with anger. Just when it seemed that all was lost, Claire remembered an old Halloween tradition she had heard about as a child. The power of love and unity could dispel malevolent spirits. The friends clasped hands and with unwavering determination recited their love for one another. The words of love echoed through the mansion, causing a blinding burst of light. The vengeful spirits were cast back, their wails and cries dissipating into the night. The friends were released from the mansion's malevolent grip, and the ghostly bride, with tears of gratitude in her eyes, finally found peace. As they emerged from the cursed mansion, they couldn't help but feel a sense of connection and camaraderie that had been forged in the crucible of terror. They knew that the haunted tales of Hollow Oak Mansion would remain with them forever, a testament to the enduring power of love and friendship in the face of the supernatural. And as the first light of dawn broke over the horizon, the friends returned to the town of Hollowsville, forever changed by their harrowing Halloween experience, a story to be shared and retold for years to come. We hope you enjoyed those spine-tingling tales as much as we did. If you're still feeling a little spooked, don't worry, you're not alone. But before we say goodbye, we have a few things to ask of you. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button if you found these stories as chilling as we did. It really helps our channel. Subscribe and turn on notifications if you haven't already. There are plenty more eerie adventures waiting for you right here, so you don't want to miss out. Share this video with your friends and fellow thrill seekers. After all, spooky stories are best enjoyed with company, right? That's a wrap for today, but stay tuned for more bone-chilling content in the future. Until next time, remember to keep your flashlight handy, your wits about you, and always be ready for the unexpected. Thanks for joining us on this haunting journey. Take care and may your nights be eerily entertaining. See you in the next video.